But time to move on then. Let's focus on Godrej Properties. The company's revenue surges on a year-on-year basis. The company has achieved 71% of its annual booking value in FY26. Vinnii Motiwala spoke to Gaurav Pandey, who is the MD and CEO of the company, began by asking him whether he would be able to beat the FY25 guidance that it laid out earlier. Let's hear out what he had to say.
Today it's great to hear this question. So yes, reasonably confident that we should be able to meet our guidance or beat that guidance. I think it's a little ahead of time from a FY26 point of view because it all depends on the launch calendar for how much can we squeeze in Q4, how is the launch calendar looking like for next year. So I would be in a better position, say, after Q4 to have a specific answer when we actually deliberate on the annual guidance. But yes, quite excited overall.
Okay. And okay, for FY26, but FY25, you'll meet the guidance, right? That's what you're saying. And will you be able to do better than the guidance?
There is a likelihood, of course, fingers crossed. I mean, if we get all our launches, there is a probability of doing that. But yeah, one step at a time, this is a business that can make you humble the very next day. So yeah, I mean, reasonably confident to meet it. And yeah, okay, there's a probability we can even beat it.
Okay. And collection, 15,000 crores, that's what you've spoken about as well in terms of collection guidance. 10,000 crores already done. 5,000 crores, which is still to be made in this Q4. Is that doable? Does it seem like, given the launches, given that everything that you've come up with right now, it's doable, right?
Very much doable. Actually, if you study our numbers every year, Q4 is a lumpy quarter, unlike other sectors where it's more like every quarter is very predictable. In real estate, it's a very lumpy business. So when you have occupancy certificates, deliveries, those are times when your operating cash flow collections tend to be slightly higher. And whenever you have approvals coming in, your booking value or sales number tend to be a little higher. So there is some amount of convergence of these variables when they happen. So Q4 has started very well on a good note from a collections point of view, and I think hopefully we should be able to meet the guidance.
Okay, Q4 surely has started on a good note, especially on the collection terms. You did highlight that launch pipeline. So now I'm going to ask on that. Q4 launch pipeline, FY26 launch pipeline. What are we watching out for from Godrej Properties there? And is it largely going to be mainly focused on Mumbai region or the newer cities that you have come into? Could we expect something on that front as well?
I think we're the only platform which has a very strong presence in different geographies of India for the last 15, 20 years. So, we've always been a very diversified portfolio. In fact, calendar year 2024, we did about 28,800 plus crores, which was like a 69% growth over the previous calendar year. And about close to 900 crores came from North India. And 9,300 crores came from Mumbai. And the rest came from South and West. So yes, fairly diversified portfolio. Now, in terms of launch calendar for Q4 and beyond, I think a very robust calendar. If I had to go maybe geography specific, in North, we have launches in Sector 44 in Noida. This is the heart of Noida, which is known for extremely strong end user demand. And we have a project by the name of Godrej Reverie. It's just hitting the market as we speak, and we're getting some very strong initial response. Then in Gurgaon, we have something coming up in the heart of Golf Course Road. So very excited about that launch. In Mumbai, practically every micro market will have a strong presence of launches. Then Pune, we are going to have something in Hinjewadi as a micro market launch. We'll have something Indore as a plotted development, high probability launch. We're also looking at a plotted development opportunity launch in Calcutta. Then we're entering into Hyderabad as a new entry strategy of a new project at a new city. And we're very excited about that opportunity, which is just hitting the market as we speak. Then there is something, we have a large land parcel in North Bangalore of 66 acres. A portion of this will also get launched this quarter. So very robust, Q4 calendar. And if we are able to meet most of these beta guidance, if all of it happens, we will, of course, we might even cross the guidance. So it depends on how many of these launches we are able to bring in Q4.
Okay, absolutely. I just want to pick point on that Hyderabad one as well, right? That's the newer city that you've just recently entered into. What is the gross development value here? What is the revenue potential that we could be watching out for from the company here?
See, Hyderabad has been a long-term strategic choice that we've made. Currently, we've bought 2 large, interesting land parcels. The first one is in this micro market called Kokapet. It's a very prime micro market of Hyderabad. Booking value potential is about 1,200-1,300 crores. And then there is a bigger land parcel we have in Rajendra Nagar, a different micro market of Hyderabad. But that is going to be a much larger booking value potential. So the first one that we're hitting the market in this January-February period is the Kokapet launch. And yes, there is an aspirational opportunity to try and see if we can pull the second one also within the quarter or Q1 at worst. But yeah, both of these are extremely exciting products with very passionate team that we built for Hyderabad market. And from the initial response for Hyderabad, which project is name is Godrej Madison Avenue, it's actually making a reasonable amount of rave in the city. Yeah.
And just the last word in terms of the debt, we're seeing a significant reduction versus last quarter. Anything specific there, and what is the debt outlook that we're watching out for? Furthermore, we could expect it to reduce quicker?
I think our focus has been to build a very robust balance sheet. And it's a combination of, if I were to ask, give a Q3 specific combination of two major strategic interventions. One is a QIP. I think we were very aptly timed to ensure that we're able to raise 6,000 crores worth of capital, significantly strengthening our balance sheet, growing our equity base by 50%, and bringing our net debt to equity from 0.75 sort of levels to 0.23 levels. So that was one. And the second strategic intervention has been more of a long term for the last, say, 18 months or so, that we've been very focused on collections and therefore net operating cash flow. So if you look at a 9-month performance on a collection, was about 10,000 crores. This is a very big milestone for us. And our net operating cash flow grew to like 3,400 crores, which is like a close to 99% of Y-on-Y growth. So again, that strengthens your balance sheet and therefore your debt reduces and it looks all healthy. So yeah, I think this is be a very important area of focus for us. We'll always be very counter to the cycle. So right now, if you ask me, our heavy focus is, I think sales is hygiene for us. I think we have very strong teams which deliver that very well. Business development always has been a strength. Now, most of our focus is great execution excellence. Because if you get the operating part of the business perfectly right, whether it's a collections, gearing ratio, or profitability, are mostly an outcome of that game. So yes, it's just a sort of a strategic roadmap we prepared for us and just sticking to the script.
That was the management of Godrej Properties. Let's